Yeah, Jason Wygant here from RacerX. Well, we gave Daniel Blair and his Main Event Moto podcast all summer to screw up being a part of the RacerX podcast network, and maybe they did. I just never listened to the show. I mean, I don't know why you are. But either way, we didn't get any email complaints, probably because no one emails anymore. So we're going to keep the show as part of the RacerX podcast network. But first, a word from some sponsors. Air Medcare Network. What if you're hospitalized with an injury far from home? You'd want to recover close to family and friends, and with an Air Medcare Network Fly You Home membership, you'll have control of where you're treated. You'll be transported to your local hospital of choice with no out-of-pocket cost, and you can now save $10 with the offer code 10MOTO. That's 10MOTO. Visit airmedcarenetwork.com/RacerX offer1. That's the number 1 to get that $10 off your membership. Essentially, it allows you, if you get injured at a race and you're not close to home, you can get flown back to where you live so you can work out of a hospital that's local, which is a lot more convenient for family and friends. Also by Maxxis Tires. You already know that Maxxis delivers the best tires for your bike, but did you know that Maxxis also offers high-quality tires for your car, light truck, trailer, ATV, mountain bike, and much, much more? Maxxis Tires will let you hook up, pull the whole shot, and beat your competition in any terrain or conditions. Just ask the king, Jeremy McGrath. To learn more, go to Maxxis, MAXXIS.com. And this podcast is sponsored by ETS Racing Fuels. With unmatched consistency and performance, ETS powers some of the most winning teams in motocross and supercross. You already know the riders and the team, but you probably don't know the fuel. Why? Because champions don't give away their secrets. But now with ETS's new online ordering system, you can have ETS Racing Fuel delivered right to your door, your shop, or the racetrack. So it's easier than ever to get ETS's championship-winning performance in your tank, whether you're racing 2 strokes or 4 strokes, 2 wheels or 4 wheels. Go to ETSRacingFuels.com and you will have your own winning secret to keep. ETS Racing Fuels, the most winning fuel you've never heard of. And now, on with the show.
Thanks for listening to Main Event Moto.
Skivvy Underwear, SKVI.com.
Team Skivvy, baby.
Ah, yeah, this is nice. Snuck out here to the public pool at night with the wood grain.
Team Skivvy, baby.
What was that?
Team Skivvy, baby.
What's up, Scummy? Founder of Skivvy Underwear, right?
Team Skivvy, baby.
Yeah, Team Skivvy.
Team Skivvy, baby.
Team Skivvy. Skivvy Underwear, I get it.
Team
you don't
Skivvy,
have to
baby.
keep saying
Team Skivvy,
it.
baby.
Dude, you're so... Man, just get off me. Let me go.
Team Skivvy, baby.
Team Skivvy, baby.
Yeah, Scummy, you don't have to try to drown
Team
me.
Skivvy, baby.
Yeah, I get it. Team Skivvy.
Team Skivvy, baby.
Okay, all right. I'm going to get some Skivvy Underwear.
You're listening to the Main Show, a Main Event Moto podcast, powered by Nature's Bakery.
It's time for episode 134 of Main Event Moto. Huge shout out to Nature's Bakery, Fly Racing, Skivvy Underwear, Mika Metal, Scott USA, No Toil, Honda Cowie, KTM of Modesto, Guts Racing, I'm happy with Guts Racing right now, Joe, EMT Racing, Keybar, Rep Racing, and Motosport.com. How we doing today?
What up?
You need a haircut. You're looking fuzzy. Is that allowed?
No, it's not allowed.
I was gonna say, I didn't know Ashley would put up with that.
Nah, she don't care.
Is she on vacation or something? She don't know?
She don't care. She don't care. I'd grow it out again if it wasn't thinning up on top so much.
Oh man,
I'd grow it back out. Back in the day, like when I just had them locks flowing, like stank dog.
You looked good. Now
Didn't I though?
Yeah. Joe, I'm so happy with Guts Racing. Oh my God.
How happy?
Sent me a photo of Evan's new seat with just gripper seat, white stripes, logo. Oh, thing of beauty. It's on its way back to my house. I'm very, very happy about it.
Nice.
Use the code MAINEVENTMOTO to 20% off at gutsracing.com. Did you like how I did that?
Yeah.
You didn't say anything, so you're just looking down. What are you doing?
Just
you not
reading.
paying attention?
Just getting ready. Just looking over, reviewing my notes for the show. You know?
For the LQs? We got a lot of them. I think a lot of people are arguing with each other, though. You guys got to stop that. Look, we're all family. Stop fighting with each other on the Instagram comments. All right? We're in this together.
They can do whatever they want.
How we doing today? You ready to have some fun?
So ready.
Dude, sorry to you and sorry to the listeners that this is one day late. But I had a really, really cool weekend. Eye-opening weekend, actually. So I think everybody listening in knows me enough to know that when I know something and, or if I like something and I know a little bit about something, I usually go pretty far with it, like the sport of moto or, NFL. We're watching the football game in the background. If I'm into something, I'm pretty thorough. If there's something that I don't know or don't like or just haven't been really exposed to, Joe, is it safe to say that I'm pretty naive and a little bit, let's just use the word dumb. Is that fair?
Yeah, that's fair.
Well, when it comes to IndyCar racing, I don't know if I could be any dumber than what I was on Friday. But now I think I know it all.
Ooh.
No, I'm just kidding, but I do know a lot. So I had an opportunity this weekend to go with NBC and go to the Laguna Seca for the final round of the IndyCar Championships.
Nice.
And, I was behind the curtain all weekend long, shadowing some of the talent, which means I get to go with, the pit reporters, the guys in the truck. I get to go in the booth with the TV commentators. The race was live on NBC, Channel 3, like big network. Big final round, championship final, 4 guys going for the title. One guy had a pretty safe lead, Joseph Newgarden. He's the guy, which is funny because once I got there and I started kind of, learning, I realized that 2 of these guys I interviewed on Race Day Live and I didn't know what they did. I knew they did something cool. I didn't know it was IndyCar.
Yeah.
So Joseph Newgarden, every year at the Indianapolis Supercross, we always have an IndyCar guy. And they kind of come on, promote the Indy 500 along with, they're there to watch Supercross. Well, we had Newgarden. He's a champ. He won it. Had him 2 years ago. Then we had this kid, Veach. He was this year. He's like a young rookie. So I interview these guys, and obviously on the fly, I pull up some stats on my phone, and that way I don't sound stupid on Race Day Live. And I get through the interview, and I know they do something, but I don't know exactly what. Well, now I know they're IndyCar guys. And I had the sickest weekend going from not knowing anything to still not knowing the depths of the sport. But, oh, man, just eye-opening on the commentating side and the production and the way they go about things is different.
Is it a lot different than how you guys do?
Oh, I don't know what Ralph and Ricky or Ralph and Jeff, I don't know what they do in the booth. I don't know how they keep their note. I don't know how they do it up there. I only know what I do because that's what I do. And I know that how I do Race Day Live because that's what I only know what I've done, and I've honestly never really been taught by anyone. I've kind of just winged it.
You're a natural, Daddy.
And that's what I learned this weekend is that my knowledge of Supercross obviously helps because I don't have to prepare at the level that they did because I understand that sport so much because I've been literally riding a dirt bike, in your words, since I came out of the womb. Mm-hmm. So it all makes sense to me, but now I realize how half-assed of a job I've been doing.
Wow.
I was blown away because the way they go about their prep, the way they store their notes, the way they prioritize things based on important, they just taught me a lot. They literally welcomed me right in. Daniel, come on in. I'll teach you everything. And the pit reporter, Marty, he's like a legend. He does NASCAR, does IndyCar. Come on in. He literally just talked me through everything he was doing on Saturday during the practice show. Showed me how he keeps his stats, his notes, and color coordinates information. How it updates. It just unbelievably thorough.
Now, is this his own style of
yes.
organization that he's come up with for his career?
Yes.
Okay.
And I know it's different than me because he didn't race for 100 years like I did.
Sure.
So I obviously, and I've always been amazed even by Will Christian. She's got this notebook, and it's the amount of information in it is she keeps track of everything that's going on. Lap 3, this happened, and I'm always kind of looking, kind of laughing, that's funny
because you just got it up here.
Literally, I could almost watch a guy and I could tell you if that was his fastest lap of the night or not. I mean, it's just because I know it. I did it. But now that I see the way they do it, and I think back, okay, me at Anaheim.
Isn't that incredible? Sorry to cut you off, Daddy, but you know what information to filter out, what's important and what's not in a split second. You know what to keep and what to let go.
Yes. And I'll get to that. It's funny too. So I'm learning how they do the pit reporter, which is what essentially it's what I am. I'm not a pit reporter, but I'm the one down on the ground during the race. That's what they are. So you're dealing with stuff at a different style.
You're the man on the ground doing it.
So I learned how they do their notes and how they do it. They do it all in an iPad. through a program that has folders and it's just so unbelievably good. And again, I think back to myself on a random night, let's just say Indy, and I'm down there sitting under the podium watching the race, and I'm piping in here and there purely off of instinct and feel. That's it.
Yeah.
And it's like so half-assed to what it could be if I step it up and prioritize information and just. I mean, what I'm getting at is I'm going to be so unbelievably better next year. I can't even believe because
so you were inspired.
Inspired.
And
why?
What was the purpose of you shadowing this? For that inspiration?
Just learning another sport and seeing how other people do things, what the production's like behind the scenes, how they go about everything. Just here, young kid, open your eyes. Like, this is something else. Like, what do you think about this, and how can it help you? And dude,
that's awesome.
Yeah. So that was Saturday. It was great. Sunday, I got to sit in the booth. I hung with the main guy, Lee Diffie. He's the Ralph. He's the play-by-play. He was awesome, super friendly, just completely educated me along the way. Townsend Bell, Paul Tracy. These are two of the analysts because they run a 3-man booth, and just they couldn't have been better, couldn't have been cooler, and literally educated me along the way on everything that they do, how they do it, how they prepare, how they change, even on commercial breaks. I just saw a whole nother world.
Hey, I've always wanted to know, during commercial breaks, do they drop the character, and are they more themselves in between? Are they joking around and bullshit and then cussing at each other and making like crude racist jokes?
No, they're pretty professional the whole way through.
They keep it, yeah.
I mean, they definitely talked and would laugh about. They'd look at the screen and like, oh my god, like they'd almost like reset. They'd like look at the screen.
Are the commercials that we're watching on TV playing in the booth as well? Are they seeing the commercials?
No, they're watching the race.
They're still watching the race,
and then they're getting a countdown. Hey, we're back in a minute. Back in 30. So, like, one guy will be reaching around the back, grabbing a Diet Coke. The other guy's eating a sandwich. The other one's, like, adjusting his notes, getting his cards. Like, it's almost like a little mini... It's like, I guess, like at a play.
They're just taking a little break.
They're resetting the stage.
Yeah.
And then they come back in.
That's a good analogy.
That's what they do. And, but the funny thing is the two analysts, they probably had the least amount of written notes. Everyone else was very, very... Everything was documented.
No, are the analysts former...
They were
racers?
Former drivers,
okay.
And they were badasses.
So they knew already.
And Townsend Bell, he was at Anaheim 2 last year and spent some time. He actually called some of the races with Ralph and Ricky. So I knew him. When I got there and I saw it was him, I was like, oh my God. And he saw me. He was like, Daniel, what's up? Like, we immediately remembered that we worked together last year at Anaheim.
Yeah.
And he took an extra interest in me then and just showed me everything. Walked me around, introduced me to some of the teams. I'd say more layered than what I know and what I get. I wouldn't say what we do, but at least what I've done. Just gonna make me better. I think it'll make me better mostly on Race Day Live, where I'm the host, I'm the play-by-play. I need more information. As an analyst, I'm more reactive when I'm on the floor.
Right.
I react to certain situations, but I usually react off of feel, and I'll react off of like maybe what the rider's thinking or strategy. But I don't really come at it at the way that I'm gonna start. Let's just say that. I'm leveling up big time next year after just what I learned, just knowing that you can't rely on instinct alone. You got to be better than that. And I'm going to be better than that. So it's going to be cool. I had an unbelievable weekend. Laguna Seca is like...
How was it out there?
It's so sick.
So nice, huh?
God, yeah. And the championship came down to the last race. They were battling. Newgarden, he's like the guy, and he pulled it off. It was sick, man. New appreciation for something that I've never watched. I've never watched IndyCar.
Yeah.
Not because I don't like it, just because it's never been introduced to me in a way of... I've never had anyone tell me, hey, you need to watch this, which brings up another point. We talk about on the show all the time about how to grow our sport, Supercross, how to get people watching, and I'm a racer. I've been around racing my entire life. I've never watched IndyCar. I've never watched NASCAR because I don't have any friends that have told me, you need to watch this. Like, hey, watch this weekend and tell me the storyline. I've never been introduced to it by someone that I would trust to listen to watch something. You know how if you tell me, dude, there's a good movie, you got to go see it, I'll go see it because I trust you. You're my friend. I don't have any friends from that world that have told me, you've got to watch this. And it reminds me of just our talks of Supercross and how we always talk about how to grow the sport. And it comes from friends. Literally anything that you were introduced to comes from friends. This sport of Supercross. Did you know anything before we started this show?
No.
Who introduced it to you? A friend did.
Yeah.
And now you know more than 90% of our moto heads. Just kidding, guys. Don't get it.
No,
you know it might be true. Joe gets stuff right. But anyways, yeah, just again, if you want to grow the sport, tell your friends, man. I mean, seriously, that's what it is. That's how you do it. And take advantage of a cool season like last year. You know, when the guys are battling and Cooper Webb's the store, whatever. Tell your friends. Make your friends. That's everyone I know that watches that has come at this as an adult. They were introduced by a friend. And I'm just telling you right now, I thought IndyCar was badass. I can't believe I've been missing out. And I had no clue. And I obviously wasn't introduced by a friend. It was through work-related, but...
This is a very random situation that 99% of people aren't going to be introduced to a sport by the way that you were introduced
their
to it,
work situation, exactly.
Yeah.
But their friends could. So
that's what most things in life. Your peer group turns you on to certain bands or music,
sports,
movies, yeah.
Exactly. So
hobbies.
Again, drug use. So, I mean, it happens.
We're going to talk about that on the main show.
Are we?
Yeah.
You got something?
I do.
Okay, because I was saying I don't. I'm not on that anyway. I got some other weird stuff. But anyways, yeah, it was cool. I was blown away with the weekend and
That's
new
awesome,
appreciation.
bud.
Now it's over. I'm kind of bummed. Season's over for IndyCar. And I'm like,
You're like, what?
Yeah, wait, what?
I was going to watch the race this weekend.
Yeah, and now I'm not. So I got to start over next year. And I don't know. It was cool. I liked it a lot. I thought it was rad. Different demographic for sure. I talked about that with Townsend. And he was talking about how, man, he just loves Supercross, just that young demographic and these young, crazy athletes, and just he's super intrigued by it. And I think a lot of the IndyCar people are. Outside of Supercross, a lot of other motorsport people are obsessed with Supercross for the same reasons why we all like it. It's freaking crazy. These are insanely in shape, disciplined professional athletes who are psychopathic.
Yeah.
If you think about it.
Yeah.
Take away the fact that me especially, but you now being kind of in this thing, take yourself out of it. These dirt bike racers are psycho, man.
Definitely.
And that's intriguing itself. And the storylines are great. So we got to deliver those storylines, and you got to tell your friends and grow the sport, man. It's cooler than a lot of people think. They just don't know. They just don't know.
It's got to be tough, too, because IndyCar has a long history and pedigree and tradition. And so I think the demographic is a little older.
That's what he said.
And that's got to be tough because you got a lot of good old boys who live on that tradition and all those, historical,
Well, then maybe
patterns.
the sport, Supercross, needs to go after the youth. And you know what? They're doing it with Futures and Amateur Day now going to Supercross and, promoting that. The KTM Junior now, it definitely makes more sense of why they do the KTM Junior. Intrigue people to buy bikes, get their kids involved, their kids tell their friends. You know what I mean? I think it needs to be done more aggressively, though. Even these manufacturers, man, get on it. Go after the youth more. Let's invest for about a decade and watch what happens.
Drug dealers do it.
Cigarette companies, too, man.
Cartels do it.
Cigarette companies don't target 50-year-olds. Hey, you should try smoking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They go after the kids.
Yeah.
So,
what's funny is if a 50-year-old did just pick up smoking,
just randomly?
55 on his birthday.
Try this out.
I'm going to try these cigarettes I've been hearing so much about.
This is good.
I'm going to pick up this habit.
No, but everybody, I mean, my kid's 10 years away from maybe being in Supercross, so let's try to invest in the sport for the next decade, and by the time he's there, maybe he's making more money than they all are now. He could be like golf, be last place, making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year.
Seriously.
We got to get it that way. Some cool stuff before we get to listener questions. Had a talk with a team manager today. And I know it's early, but still I'm poking around because that's what I do. I poke around. And I'm trying to figure out who his riders are on the West, who his riders are on the East. What are you thinking? And he's kind of throwing out some scenarios. And there was a interesting scenario that got brought up today. So Dylan Ferrandis, Joe, he's the champ on the West, number one, right? Big old red number one, and there's value in that. These teams want the one on the bike. That's huge for sponsors.
Dylon.
So you can send him east. Maybe, back in the day, there was riders that wanted to win an east and a west because they wanted to learn both coasts, but Dylan's done the east. Sorry, Dylon's done the east. I'm pretty sure they're going to want him on the west, right? Wouldn't you? If you're the team owner of Star, don't you want the number one on the bike?
Definitely.
And not 14? Do you want to see him 14 on the east or one on the west?
Absolutely.
For money
number
reasons,
one on
right?
the West.
So I think that unless something got, an injury, whatever, I think that's what we would probably see. Fair?
Yeah.
Well, Chase Sexton, you want to run him on the East. Number 1, right? Same thing. But what do you do when your team is Jeremy Martin, who is coming back from injury and probably is going to need a little extra time? And then you have Joe Shimoda and Jet Lawrence, 2 rookies that are learning how to ride Supercross. What are you going to run Jeremy Martin and Chase Sexton on the East and run 2 rookies on the West? If you're Geico, you can't do that. I mean, the SoCal, the West is the bigger coast. It always gets the bigger draw. You've got to be powerful over there. If Jeremy Martin's not ready, Chase Sexton is going to ride West. So now you have him on the West, too. Even though they want that number 1 on the East, it's like they're going to have to. They're going to have to find a way to make this all work with the puzzle pieces, right?
Right.
So maybe he goes West. And then, hearing that Jordan Smith is nowhere near riding a bike yet and is needing more work done possibly on his wrist and is going to be out for a little longer.
Ouch.
He's not going to be ready. And if you're Mitch Payton, are you going to run Cameron McAdoo and Garrett Marchbanks on the West? The Power Coast? Right there in front of all your corporate sponsors in Southern California? No, you're going to have Faulkner. And Faulkner, he got his knee fixed earlier than Cincerello did last year, so he's got time. He'll be ready. So what I'm saying is fingers crossed, I might get my wish. Ferrandis, Sexton, Faulkner, all in the West.
Ooh,
Now, I don't feel like it's going to happen. Something will come up. An injury, something is going to ruin that. But I'm asking the Moto gods. Allow those 3 together on the West. It's what I want. It's what you all want. I know it. And based on the conversation, Joe, the likelihood is a little bit more possible. What do you think?
dude, I think that's good. Who are you talking to? You evil son of a bitch.
It was, I couldn't even think of anything funny. It wasn't one of those 3 teams. Anyways, other information too before we go into listener questions. The numbers came out. I don't know if you saw that. Big old stink, which I thought was hilarious. Steve Mathis, Jason Thomas, and Jason Wygant did a Donations preview show where they also discussed the numbers and some silly things that happened. I guess the AMA released the numbers wrong, and all the news outlets put them all out, and then immediately were told to take them back off because they were wrong. And then I think did it again. Like they literally didn't get the numbers right, and all the news organizations are flipping because they're like they're credible. They try to be a credible news outlet, and they're getting fake news thrown at them, dude. And they're throwing it out there and having to pull articles.
Oh no!
Which for our friends, our partners at Racer X, it's not their fault.
Yeah.
So I'm here to announce that it's not their fault. It wasn't their fault. It was Wygant's fault, though, 100%.
Yeah, everybody knows.
We all know that. But the numbers are pretty cool. Cincerello took number 9. What do you think about that? He had the chance to keep 92. That's who he's been forever. But he took the single digit number 9 as his permanent number moving to the 450 class. Do you like that, or do you?
It's always weird to see. It's like when a player in any other sport switches teams, will go right to the source. Antonio Brown. It's weird to see him in a Raiders uniform the first time.
What's his number now? He doesn't have one, does he? It's weird, right?
No, he doesn't. His number is whatever his student number is in
college?
Michigan State, I think.
What?
So it's weird to see a rider with a new number for the first few times, but then you just get used to it. And then it'll be like as if it's always been that way.
Here's a very to make that all come around, circle around. McGrath was 2, dude. He was number 2. And Villapoto took 2. And I remember when it happened, people were like, what? That's the King's number. But Villapoto took it. And then he gave it up when he retired. Then Cooper Webb took 2. And it was so weird at first. Like, that's Villapoto. Oh, wait, that was McGrath. You know what I mean? Like, you just forget. Mm-hmm. And then you forget. And now Cooper Webb is 2. And I don't even question it.
Yeah.
He'll be 1 next year in Supercross, but 2 again on outdoor. Cincerello is going to be 9. It's going to look weird, and then halfway through the year, you won't even think about it again. And I was on the side of not taking number 9 and keeping 92, just because he's just 92 has looked good on him
I think
forever.
we had even talked about that, and I agree with you. I think it would have been cool if he had kept it, just on almost like some sort of principle, just keep it. Like you don't need that low number.
Yeah.
Like you're good enough
like
with
Roxon,
a high number.
like Roxon with 94.
Yeah.
Like 94 is Ken Roxon, where like even with Tomac with 3, there's been 3s. There's been 9s. There's been 2s. Like Plessinger took 7. I feel like you're now sharing a number where 92, he wouldn't have been sharing any. That's him, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I like that because it was very exclusive. But he made the decision, and he says it was, new chapter. He's maturing. He's whatever, and he's gonna be around for a while. So far, probably for marketability, I guess it's maybe better. I feel like it wouldn't be as good, but I don't know. Anyways, he did take that. My boy Jacob Hayes, number 45, and you know who's happy about that?
Who?
Lil Evan is. Evan is number 145.
Yeah.
And when I told Evan that Jacob's number was 45, you know what Evan said?
Huh.
Take the 1 off my bike, Dad. I want to be 45 now. You know what I said? I said no, because there's already a kid in his class that's fast, who's number 45. And I'm not going to be running 45E on his bike. You know what I mean? I'm not going to go to a local race and have to put an X next to his number. So, no, we are going to stick to 145.
It warms the heart, and he looks up to Jacob so much.
Oh, he does. He's got posters all over his wall, but he's got like 5 posters of Jacob like right by his pillow. That's like his big brother, man. But anyways, he's stoked because Jacob's got 45 and he's 145, so he's all feels.
That's why Jacob did it, right?
That's why Jacob pulled out of the last 3 rounds.
Yeah.
To make sure that he got
that
45. Which sucks for him. He was pissed because he was on his way to getting like 38 or 39. And based on the guys that were ahead of him or were behind him, he would have ended up like 38. And he's pretty bummed because if you get in the 30s, you did some work. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like when you're number 39 or below, the next year, people will go, wow, last year you did something. So he kind of missed out on that, even though he was right, in range to get it, but 45 will look cool. And, he signed a contract this week too, so. But I can't say, because that's what I do here. Piss everyone off. 99% of you upset right now, but.
Shouldn't even have said it.
I know.
Damn it.
Is that what I really should do? Should I not say things at all?
Well, if you're not going to like divulge, if you're just going to tease and be all like bratty about it.
All right. He's riding for a West Coast only team. It's not on the same brand that he was on before. It's not factory. And there's the sprinkles of seeds.
That's a little bit better. Now
figure it out yourself.
Yeah, now those out there who know what's up, they can whittle it down.
Yeah, and November 1st, you'll all find out when the press release comes out. Until
that sounds
then,
so far away. That's like
know.
6 weeks.
I know, but the weird thing is legally I actually can't say. There's like actual legal reasons why.
No, that's not weird. I got
not allowed to be public. So
yeah.
Anyways, sorry y'all. Anyways, let's take a break. We'll come back to listener questions. Again, there was a lot of them. I have not even seen any. I just know there was a lot because my phone was going off. But I did at one point see someone barking at someone because they tagged me and they're yelling at someone else. So I don't know what they're fighting about, Joe. I don't know. But we'll take a break. We'll come back and we'll knock them out.
Main event moto.
Let's be real. Kids and adults like things that taste good. What if you had a food that tasted unreal and was healthy?
Dad, get me some Nature's Bakery.
What flavor, Evan?
Any, duh.
Seriously, my kid is a pain when it comes to track snacks, but since we started eating Nature's Bakery, it's gotten a lot easier.
But Dad, don't you always call Mom a track snack?
That's not what I mean, Evan. Make sure you eat Nature's Bakery when you're at the track. Convenience is everything to us in the Bat Cave, and that's why we rock a key bar and no toil filters. Trust producer Joe, you're sick of that jingle jangle in your pocket.
Yes, sir. Just go get a key bar, like your Bat Bros.
And if you're not using no toil filters, you probably still have a flip phone. They make one of the worst bike chores easy. Throw the filter in the wash machine with your ladies' panties, and they'll never be cleaner. Get with the program and get a key bar and switch to no toil. Pay attention, Motoheads. I'm a picky SOB, especially when it comes to products on my son's bike. That's why we run Mika bars, sprockets and chains, and a gut seat cover, and it's not even negotiable. Look, if you care about quality and performance on your bike, you'll be running Mika metals and gut seats and covers. And if you don't, you're a what, Evan?
A noob like Uncle Vincent.
Main Event Moto Podcast.
Ooh-wee. The Washington Redskins are down 21-0. My fantasy football team is dependent on the Chicago Bears not destroying the Redskins.
It's Not looking good, buddy.
The Bears are destroying the Redskins. And my fantasy team, which was up by about 20, is now down 2. So thank you, Washington. You guys suck.
Could be worse, bud. Could be a Raiders fan.
Could be a Dolphins fan.
You're finally having a good season.
Cowboys are ready to go. They're good. 3-0.
They're going all the way.
19-0.
I'm going to say it right now, just for the purpose of jinxing it.
See, if I said it, it'll jinx it.
Say it.
Nope, they're not.
Say it, damn it.
No, because if I say they're going to win, they won't, because you know how I get things wrong.
They're going all the way.
I hope so. All right, what do we got? Listener questions. Scott USA Prospect listener questions.
Our Camp 99 got the whole shot. Monster Energy Cup. Who's your money on?
AC9. Well, Tomac.
Try to practice. Get used to that.
Yeah, it just don't seem right. Eli Tomac will be there and be fine. I think he's ready. Roxon's not racing it. Anderson's in Europe riding in the sand, so if he comes home, he won't be ready. Marvin had a knee injury at the last outdoor. Webb missed a couple outdoors with a knee injury. Osborne's riding in the sand. Savacci doesn't have a deal. Brayton will be in Australia. Malcolm? No, Cincerello. He's going to go out there and win it. The track goes both ways.
Yeah.
He's smart. I feel like he can figure things out quick, and he's got that 250 to 450 transition thing going on, where you get off a 250, the 450 just feels so good because you have power that you haven't had yet. You know, remember Justin Hill? 2018, he's riding 250 West on the Suzuki 250. He's not doing well. Then he gets that win. Hey, let's throw him on a 450, see how he does. He goes to Tampa and almost wins it. A lot of that had to do with the fact that he was hopping on the 450 and just feeling so good. And then he kind of never rode like that ever again. I'm not saying AC is going to be one race warrior, but no, I got AC winning it.
Do you want to put some money on it? I'm going to take Tomac.
How much money?
$500.
No, there's no way.
1,000?
I mean, you're talking about Tomac won $1 million there last year, and you think that's fair odds? My guy's a rookie. Your guy's won $1 million last year there.
How much you want to put on it?
$5.
I know you only do big bets.
All right, I'll go big. Let's do 15. $15. Actually, in honor of AC, $9. $9 bet.
$92.
No. New number. $9 bet.
$9, and then the fast food meal of the winner's choice.
Okay, I like it.
All
You're on.
All right. Eddie Navo official, what are the top biggest penalties ever received by a rider on or off the track?
I'm Stu. Unless there's something that I'm not thinking, but that's the first thing that hit my mind was, I think, 1.5 years for him.
And I don't know all the details on that. Can you run it through real quick? I'm ignorant. I'm a dummy. I'm a rookie. Tell me what happened.
Well, you were...
It was before my time.
It was right before, huh?
Honestly, I've heard it, but I've never really looked into it. I know that there was an issue and a suspension with some drugs.
Yeah.
With some heroin. I don't know what's going on there.
That's not what it was.
Just kidding.
Could you imagine?
Just kidding.
Like if that was
allegedly.
Really
Allegedly.
Yeah. God, man. This is motocross, not football.
Yeah,
Antonio. I don't know what Antonio's up to. Anyways, so Stewart. Okay, so you know how like back in the day, which is crazy how it's back in the day, but you know how back in the day you could go to the doctor and get a prescription for weed?
Mm-hmm.
Like, doctor, I have anxiety and I can't sleep and I want weed.
Yeah.
Sure, no problem. Sign it off. Here you go, and you can get a prescription, whatever. Well, you could get that for a lot of different things, Adderall being one of them. But Adderall is a performance-enhancing drug. So in order to be exempt from the rule, you have to fill out a pretty thorough form. And he either didn't do it all the way, or he didn't do it at all. I don't know. He was on Adderall, never turned in the form. It didn't get approved. It's an extensive form. This isn't like doctor writes a note and just turn it in. It's like you got to like almost prove that you need this thing. Like you need Adderall for like a medical condition, not just because you want to concentrate. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So yeah, it was. They claim didn't.
So
get the form.
unapproved drug use, basically.
Unapproved drug use for a drug that you can use if approved.
Right.
If you go through the process and get the forms turned
in. And they
in,
slapped him with 1.5 years?
Yeah.
That seems excessive, bro.
What do you think it should have been?
A couple of races, maybe? I don't know. I mean, how long was he taking it for? Like, are they saying like, you know?
I don't even know.
Yeah.
NFL, 2 weeks. I mean, Robert Quinn for the Dallas Cowboys just came back. He was suspended the first 2 games of the season for performance enhancing over something silly like a Tickler Craig thing. Something was in his supplements.
Yeah.
2 games. Some guys get 4.
I'd say at the most, maybe half a season just to make it hurt and be like,
if you want to make it
this
sting,
is real and you really done goofed.
I mean, even that point for championship, I mean, you miss 1 round and okay. I mean, at the extreme, I would say 4 to 6, depending on the infraction and how obvious. You know what I mean? If you have the rarest of rare, some drug no one's ever heard of, and it's .000 and it barely rings up on the thing.
Yeah.
Year and a half, 2 years. Come on, like it should be 2 to 6, 6 max, 2 minimum.
Especially from a business standpoint, your biggest star, like your
it's not the business standpoint.
Largest draw.
This is a company in Europe that handles all this stuff. WADA is
they dumb
world. Yeah, well, I don't think anybody's going to disagree with that.
Lehman MX21. Any word from Tomac after the Swap Moto podcast?
I doubt he even knows about it.
No, I think he does.
How?
His camp. It's got back to him.
His camp, what? Who's his camp?
Savachi was commenting on listener questions last week.
That's him, dude.
Like, these dudes know. Tomac's not above that. He's not some sort of god.
He's probably in our LQs right now.
I hope he is with a burner account like Kevin Durant.
Yeah, but no, dude.
Tomac's not some sort of untouchable entity. He's aware. They all listen to Moto podcast. If not him, his team, his buddies. He's got friends.
Hey.
They heard what Joey said.
It got back to, it got back to Cowie first. Sprinkled into the mechanics.
See, I think probably the opposite. I don't know if Cowie would have got it first because what are you talking about? The company?
They're connected.
The corporation, the team?
Team manager, everybody involved. They know. They pay attention.
Of course. They get up in the morning and they listen to Moto podcasts just like all the other Moto heads do.
They heard it. And
they check Vital too.
It got back to him for sure. And what do you think he said? I mean, do you know what I think? Because I listened to that interview, Joey's. I went back and listened.
Mm-hmm.
And Joey said it a couple times. He goes, he wasn't going to get me. He wasn't, like, almost like he was making sure y'all know he was not going to get me.
Mm-hmm.
I have this feeling that Eli thinks he was going to get him anyway. And why would I say thank you and give this guy money? I was going to get you anyway. Like, I got you. What are you talking about? You didn't let up.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I do know what you mean. I agree with you a little bit. I've been thinking about it all week since Snap on Dan was on.
All week.
And I thought,
laying in bed, alone
keeping up at night. And I've been thinking that he probably didn't want to say thank you because then it would have been like swallowing some pride and admitting that he wasn't going to get him.
That's the only explainable way because there is no other reason whatsoever.
Which is foolish. It's foolish pride. We're talking about Monster Cup. We're talking about basically an exhibition race. They should have rings of fire and shark pits and all that kind of crap.
I've been saying that for a while.
It's one of those things. So I don't know. I think his pride is really hard to swallow on that.
And not admitting, right?
Yeah, he's being a dummy.
If you say thank you, that's admittance.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
What if it was for legal reasons?
There's always that.
Can't say thank. I'm not going to admit that was fixed.
If he says thank you for that, then yeah, what does that mean?
Looks like an admittance.
Sure. And chances are, in that episode too, and I don't want to even belabor it any longer than last week. We spent the entire show talking about it. You know how Joey said that they had agreed on some.
At one
payment.
Point, they did, and then they came back.
They came back and said, "No, we've changed our mind."
You know what? They probably
which is probably because they talked to the lawyers, and lawyers were like, "No way! What are you talking about?"
Or they just talked to Eli, and Eli was like, "I ain't paying. What are you talking about paying him?"
See, I don't think that. I want to say that inside, he's a good dude. And so I have a feeling it was probably legal reasons.
I'm not saying it's good. A good reason. I'm saying it's because I think he thought he was going to get him. He's probably like, "What are you idiots talking about? I caught him. I was going to get him no matter what. I was going to get him in the last quarter." He didn't do me any favor. You know what I'm thinking that he thought he was going to get him.
Or maybe it's embarrassing. Yeah, maybe he thought he was going to get him, and so it's embarrassing. And when people are like, Joey pulled over for you.
You only got it because you got pulled over by your rookie teammate.
Like, that's like a little bit of like when your chick helps you up off the track.
Oh, you want to go there?
It's a little embarrassing.
Maybe for you.
I got it, babe.
Get off me.
I don't need your help.
I can say something.
Moving on.
Very silly.
Colby Cheese 353. Will Chad Reed have a ride for Supercross? The interview with Mathis was interesting. He made it sound like he could walk away like James Stewart did.
It was interesting. He made it sound like he wanted to ride. He made it sound like it's not looking likely. He says, Joe, I'm not worried about January yet. I'm more worried about the Paris Supercross, New Zealand, Australia. Like, what am I going to do for that? Yada, 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 yada. And then he's talking about how much he unbelievably loves racing the Lamborghinis. And it definitely sounded like somebody who had 1 foot out, 1 foot in, and the 1 foot out was almost like ready to go. But Ellie Reed, his wife, actually put this on Instagram. I'm going to read this to you. She just did this on the way here. She says, putting all our intention into racing Supercross 2020. If the motorcycle gods are listening, then give this kid a ride and help him finish what he started. That's the dream right now, to have a season where he actually comes in prepared and ready and gives his fans the best races he can. We are working to make something come together, but we can't do it alone. I probably say too much, and normally we'd struggle in silence, but if Chad doesn't make it on the line for 2020 Supercross, it's because all the doors were closed and not for a lack of trying. Then she says a whole lot of other stuff I'm not going to read, but
wow.
They're throwing it out there as if...
I'd like to have her as my manager.
I know, she boss.
Solid.
PR manager.
Seriously.
Chad's probably like, get that off the internet.
Don't help me up, babe.
Dude, we just talked about this. Don't be doing my dirty work for me.
I don't need your help, babe.
So to answer your question, I could actually see a scenario where it doesn't happen. Not because of lack of trying. Like they said, he's not going to do it all half-ass again. So I could honestly see a situation where he comes out at round 1 in street clothes and says goodbye. I could see that. And that would suck. But the ride's not there. The ride's not there. I don't know what else to say. He's not going to go do it. He's not going to go ride for, what's his name? He's not going to be a privateer. Let's just put it that way. If he doesn't have a good deal, he's not going to do it. And I don't think it's money related as much as it is support and bike. If there's nothing out there, he's not going to do it. And that would would just suck. But anyways, all right, next one.
G Wells 250. Red Bull Straight Rhythm has a bunch of top name riders. With Red Bull Straight Rhythm and Monster Cup so close together, will riders still do both races?
Roxon's not. He is racing Straight Rhythm. Saw a sick video of him on Instagram the other day riding a 252 stroke, and it was so rad. Who else is doing it? Anderson's doing it, I think. Webb's doing it. The one it's no. Other than Roxon, I don't see anyone doing doing Straight Rhythm and not Monster Cup. It'd be the other way around, but it seems to be like Red Bull's letting their guys do it, and all the manufacturers are letting their guys. I think Anderson, is doing it. I'm not sure. I don't know.
Here's a follow-up. He says,
Yep.
Is the payout of Straight Rhythm competitive with Monster Cup? Seems to be a decent incentive if this many riders are signing up.
Yeah, and it's not just the money. These guys are all... it's nothing. It's pocket change for these guys. Roxon and Webb, they cleared millions this year. So you think they're worried about a little... No, what it is, it's a promotional race for Red Bull, and they put some good cash. These guys will make the drive over. It's an hour and a half away from where they live in SoCal. Shoot on over and have some fun and hang with the fan. It's a different type. It's not a race. It's a show. It's a great PR move for these riders to be out there and represent Red Bull. That's what it is more than anything. It's no manufacturer will ever get behind it as in we need to win this. It's not for that reason. And the riders that do it are the ones that are smart enough to realize that this makes your credibility look cooler. You do a cool race in SoCal where the fans have access to you, and it's pretty cool.
Eddie Neva official comes back. He says, is Jake Weimer right about his comments on the Pulp 400 of ginger riders having a different gene or something to make them so gnarly/angry? And then he lists off Tim Ferry, Trey Kennard, Ricky Carmichael, Ryan Villapoto, and Adam Cianciarulo.
Yeah, haven't you watched South Park? What do they say about gingers on South Park, Joe?
I don't know. What do they say about
They
it?
don't have souls.
Oh.
Which is like an unbelievably harsh episode.
It's just science.
It's who's the little Jewish kid that wears the beanie?
Stan, the Kyle.
I think Kyle, they pull his beanie off and he's got a
Yeah, he's
red
redhead.
afro.
Yeah, he's
and
redhead.
Cartman just starts going off that he's redhead, he has no soul.
Yeah.
Which is like, again, South Park, those guys really are... ridiculous with pushing the limits. But
Yeah, they are.
I don't know if the ginger gene is true, but that's a good list, and it's an ongoing joke. You'll see a kid at the track. We'll be hanging out. We'll see a little kid, 9, 10, 12, whatever, little redhead, and you're like, oh, he'll make it. It's just like a funny joke because the redheads crush it.
Yeah.
Ricky, Villapoto, Canar. I mean, that list. I think if you got the ginger gene, dude, I think you do have superpowers. It's not fair. I'm going to dye Evan's hair red when I get home.
Yes.
Kid's going to win Monster Cup, dude. Rip that helmet off, dude. Just fire red hair. And they'll be like, oh, damn it. Figures. So, next one.
KG Money 301. Who could take more Jamal shots, Villapoto or Carmichael?
Villapoto. I think he's on one right now. I've been getting the Jamal shots like crazy, Joe. And you know what's funny? People will write in, they'll DM me with a picture, and some are like, so good. And the next guy, the worst thing I've ever done in my life. There is no middle. I've yet to hear someone say,
That's funny because I am kind of in the middle on
I feel
it.
it's all right,
It wasn't
too.
the worst thing I've ever put in my mouth, but it definitely was not the best.
Jameson with a little bit of cinnamon.
Yeah.
It's a cinnamon Jameson shot,
yeah.
and it is not good, but
It'll
it's
warm
not
you
that
up.
bad.
It'll definitely warm you up.
I felt like I followed it down my throat, into my chest, into my stomach. I could feel the heat and the temperature go all the way down into my stomach when I took it. But yeah, Villapoto would smoke RC in a Jamal off.
I don't think so.
Really?
I disagree. I think for some reason I think Carmichael can put him down.
I don't know. Find out. I'm going to see Ricky. I'm flying next week to Florida.
Get him one, dude.
I will. I'll introduce him to the old J-Mal shot.
Get it on video.
Ralph will have one because Ralph's a Jameson guy. Big time. I'm going to slip a little cinnamon in his drink, see what he thinks then. All right, next one.
Jason Manous, 39-17. Husky has a 3-man 450 team in 2020. Is that unfair to other teams?
Define fair. I mean, they're doing it. I mean, KTM's got Webb, Muscan, and they got their team with Baggett and either Bogle or Bloss, so they know that they're being represented by 3 to 4 guys. Huskies, they are, as far as factory teams go, they're the biggest team. They have 3 dudes. It's awesome. It's not unfair. It's their decision. It's the other manufacturer's decision not to step up and match. So Honda's pretty big too because they got the Moto Concept Smart Top guys. Cowie and Yamaha are the ones that are a little behind on that. They are definitely not as willing, either because they can't or they don't want to. I don't know. Either can or don't want to step it up outside of just the factory. But the other ones, Honda, KTM, Husky, they're way more aggressive, and I like it.
Florida Man 330. What's up with Weston? Is he going to race again?
I think he wants to, but I think if I had to do my own math equation, I would say no. But I think he wants to, and I don't think he gave up number 18, his permanent number, Joe. That's his number. There's an injury clause. You're allowed to keep it 1 year. If you're injured, whatever, he doesn't have to lose the number. And he didn't give it up. So he could have. And he didn't. So I don't know. Maybe. I don't think so. My guess would be no, but I think he wants to. Hey, we're actually watching is this Blink-182, right? Little commercial kind of halftime whatever deal.
Yeah.
Are you going to Aftershock? My brother just got his ticket. I guess Blink's headlining one day.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe.
It's like Marilyn Manson, Stone Temple Pilots, and Blink.
Yeah.
That makes sense, right?
Yeah, whatever. I think Architects are playing, so I might actually go.
Figure out the day. My brother's going.
Well.
Mason's going. All right, next one.
Keith Adrian 8A. Which current racer is the smartest racer and which is the dumbest?
Martin Davalos is the smartest. I mean, it doesn't matter what your IQ is. It doesn't matter what you can get on a test. In this world, Joe, in the game of life, it's all about the Benjamins. Who's smarter than Martin Davalos?
Yeah.
Nobody.
Yeah.
The dumbest? Man, Martin Davalos. He pointed out this year. Dumb. Blew it. Martin, he gets both trophies. Smartest and dumbest.
Jimmy D89. What's a must-see while in Vegas for Monster Cup? Hashtag 21st birthday.
I'll pass on that question.
Really? Nothing cool? I'm not a Vegas dude.
He says a must-see?
Yeah.
I mean, what do you want to go watch? The Dudes in the Lion Cave? I mean, come on, you know what to do. You're 21 years old. You know what to do.
Oh, boy.
Come on, man.
Oh, boy.
They're all in the same area.
Oh, boy. Zachy D, is Moto and Supercross on a downhill?
No, actually, you know what's weird is that there was a report I read, it might have been during Supercross, but it talked about how all sports over the last like 5 to 7 years were on a downward spiral.
Downhill spiral.
God, like man, I hit walls every once in a while, and I just can't.
You're distracted by Blink 182 here.
I know. As far as ratings go, everything was kind of on a little spin-off, and Supercross, Motocross was doing good. I think the numbers are all up, so I think honestly it's all good. Now there is other things to take into consideration, bike sales, whatnot, and I don't know those numbers, but I think that at the worst we're kind of just autopilot. You know what I'm saying? And I think the sport actually is. I think it's doing fine, and it's always going to look bad in certain little areas, but when the top guys in the sport are making the money that they're making, and the turnouts are what they are, and the TV ratings are what they are, and the local tracks full, you can make the argument that things are going downhill. You can also make the argument that things are on the climb. It's hard to read, but I believe we're actually on the climb. That's just from what I've seen actually by being around it for the last couple of years. I think we're on the move up.
Last question, then we'll take a break. Z-Red240, had J-Law partied, raced in the 90s, how successful would he have been?
Oh, man. You know what's weird is that we always talk about how guys train harder now. Ricky ruined the sport by how hard he trained. Those guys were gnarly back then, too. Like Stanton, O'Mara. It was a different type of gnarly, but I think it would have gone off exactly like it did for him in the time that he was here. And the reason why is because that style, that lifestyle, doesn't last anywhere. So I think he would have had the same success. He probably would have won a 125 East-West title. He would have been rad, and he would have fizzled off because I don't think the sport is what pushed him away. I think he just fell apart. So I think he would have fell apart back then, too. The times wouldn't have mattered. He would have been awesome, and it wouldn't have lasted long. And that's just a guess. That's hard to say, but that's kind of how I think it would have turned out. Let's take a break. We'll be right back.
Main event Moto.
I hate to say it, but our NorCal Motoheads are pretty spoiled. Why? Well, where do they ride, Joe?
Riverfront, East Street, and Prairie City. And don't ask me who takes care of them trackside and during the week, because it's EMT Racing.
And who takes care of them trackside during the week, Joe?
Really, man? I literally just said EMT Racing. You didn't hear me?
That's right. If you're from Northern California and support Main Event Moto, then spin your laps at Rep Racing Tracks, buy your bikes and parts from Modesto, Honda, Cowie, KTM, and make sure EMT Racing takes care of your trackside and service needs.
Spin your laps at Rep Racing Tracks. I see what you did there. I like that.
If you're from Northern California and you're a true Motohead, then you better get your bike from Honda, Kawasaki, KTM of Modesto. They also got betas, ATVs, and side-by-sides. And if you don't know how to use Google Maps, well then here, I'll help you out. Visit them off of Carpenter Road in Modesto and see their track support parts trailer at all California Central Valley races. Visit www.hkmodesto.com to apply for the rider team, store deals, and upcoming events. And check them out on Instagram at Honda_Cowie_KTM.
Main Event Moto Podcast.
Ooh-wee. All right, an update on my fantasy football score. I know you guys all care so much. The Chicago defense has 27 points for my competitor. Washington needs to score some points, and if they do, that score will come down, and then I'll be all right. I also have Vernon Davis, who is the Redskins tight end. So we're still looking okay, Joe. We are looking okay. I am actually down 1 point right now, but his score will come down. If you know what's weird is you don't play fantasy, huh? Have we talked about this? You don't play fantasy football.
I don't.
Never have?
Nope.
Why?
I'm not into fairy tales, bro. No, I don't know. I just don't have time. I've never played it. I don't give a shit.
It is so fun. It means more to me.
If I was going to devote the time to like learn and make money and pay attention to all the players and all that crap, then I guess every once in a while I'll play a pick'em or something like that, or
I love it so
and
much.
4 million other people.
It is amazing, is what it is.
It's a huge industry now.
I actually think it kind of saved football in a way.
Yeah, a little bit.
Because everybody plays wide up. Everybody watches game. Like
I feel like it got everybody kind of back into it.
Yep. And you know what? I don't care about the Bears or the Redskins at all.
Yeah.
And I'm watching this game. I actually have something.
You have something riding on it.
Yeah, and that's crazy because I do, and I don't care normally about these two crap teams.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's go, Joe. Let's rapid fire out of this thing.
Racing Junkie 51, is AMA going to let Ronnie Mack race?
Never. It's not his name. He'd have to do a full legal name change, which he probably would do.
I'd do it.
And then he'd have to wear a full helmet. He'd have to ride a current bike, and it wouldn't be the same. He is Roddy Mack on the Screaming Eagle with a half-face helmet.
Yeah.
All three of those things will not fly.
Yeah, it's like taking the joke too far.
Well, it's not really happening as much anymore. I don't see it that much anymore. I don't know what he even is doing. I don't know if he's even doing anything anymore. He made some money though. I'll tell you what, I know he made a good grip there for a year or two. That was a profitable enterprise there for a minute. For all Ron Dog. All right, next one.
Charlie D, what it be? He says, Producer Joe Gallo, I'm the NASA guy going to the moon. Thanks for the shout out on Main Show a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, how crazy is that? We have listeners on the Main Show that email in and tell us what they do.
Every job in the world.
And I'm assuming with this show it's the same. Obviously, it's the same people. They listen to both. But we think of you all as Motoheads because we all love Moto. But you're actually all real people. You're not sitting around just on the computer on Vital all day. Like, you're all real people.
Daniel thinks everybody does what he does.
Yeah, everybody. Exactly.
Moto all day,
and then you
day.
have people write in and be like, "Yeah, I work for NASA and I'm going to the moon." Like,
yeah, Charlie works for NASA, and we were shouting him out on Main Show,
which is
the other day.
incredible.
Incredible.
That is, have fun.
So now
while
any
you're
of
up
our
there.
space questions.
Watch out for the man bear
Go to
pigs
Charlie.
up there that are all over the place that the Israelis dropped off.
The water pigs. Ooh, Chicago just intercepted.
Yep, Chicago intercepted. They're going to run it back. I'm done for.
Charlie's question, bro.
Stupid.
He says, can Daniel Blair 125 give us some insight into Eli Tomac's awkward social habits? From what you've said,
I don't know
he's even
him.
awkward with his girlfriend.
I never said that.
And now I think that was Vince. And now the whole Joey Sabachi thing.
I did say it. I said
What's up with this
I
guy?
said on the plane they didn't talk to each other one time.
Oh, that's right.
Remember they
That's right.
all the way in, all the way out, all the way through. I sat right next to him and did not one word.
Then he
for
says,
hours.
P.S. Producer Joe Gallo is the freaking man. Thanks, Charlie. What's up, brother? So yeah, give
I
us
don't
some
know.
insights into his social
I don't know.
awkwardness.
I don't know what he does.
Charlie, brother, that's a funny question.
It is because I don't know. I really don't. That's really good. All right, next one.
Papa
Oh
Irons.
my God, that dude looked like
What's
Hobo
his name?
Nick on TV with a haircut. Not that guy. Not Ha Clinton Dix, the defensive back for the Bears. Joe, the other guy, the coach.
I got
All
you.
right, next one.
Papa Iron 7, Main Event Moto. Thoughts on why Motocross Australia is dead? We have the fans. We have some of the best racing in freestyle. What is going wrong
They have
here?
all the gnarly freestyle guys come out of Australia. You guys are gnarly down there. How would I know that? I've never been there. I don't know the market down there. I know your Supercross series is cool. A lot of people a lot of intrigue from up here. A lot of Americans go down there, but I don't really know. You tell me. What's the deal down there? Fill us in. Right back next week and give us a little 411 on Australian Moto and why it's dead. I have no idea. From my naive perception, I always thought it was pretty good down there. So fill me in. I have no idea.
TJ116. Do the riders agree that the sport needs anti-doping policies even though they had no say in instituting it? They are marked guilty till proven innocent with caught cheating, and there are no means of holding USADA accountable if they make mistakes.
There's a difference between mistakes and cheating, and that's where I think the problem is with the penalties. And as far as the riders I've talked to, they believe that they should have it because I don't think anybody, as far as the riders, want it just Wild West. Because then, what if you're a guy who doesn't believe in that for moral reasons or physical or religious, whatever?
It's the quickest way to ruin a sport. You have to have an even playing field.
It has to be even to a point. It has to have equal opportunity, not equal outcome.
Stop it. Wrong show, buddy.
Sorry. Yeah, the writers all, from what I understand, they do believe that it is necessary. And it is. They do need rules. I think the penalties need to be a little bit more appropriate. That's all. Next one.
Mysterion157, is it fair or unfair that the X Games allowed RC to do a real moto video? He won very easily, but only on his name. He should have been third on the actual video, but he's RC, so he won.
I mean, I didn't see all the other ones because I didn't care. But from the people that wrote in and people that I've talked to, they beg to differ on him being 3. They've said that his video was insane. And I've told you, I watched just the Instagram videos of it that he would post. Mm-hmm. It looked awesome. So I'm not a judge. I don't know how the judging works. And yeah, the name definitely helps, but I could see if he won and then it was like a crappy video. But from what I understand, people thought it was sick. So I don't know how. Who wrote this?
This was Mysterion.
Yeah, I don't know how he did his personal rating system, and I would probably have my own. But I don't know. But I know that people liked his a lot. So yeah, I mean, I guess it's part of the game. I already told you guys. I feel like that's for up and coming guys to get their name out there, and I know a lot of people that agree with that. But hey, if your video is the best, it's the best, and obviously, it won. So,
RacerX V23. Why don't they create another Supercross series for privateers? The corporate bullcrap hinders riders from actually racing, but taking their money.
There'd be no fans. Unfortunately, nobody cares, except for the diehard fans that are already there to watch the stars anyway. You know what I mean? No, I mean, if Anaheim was a 2-nighter and the first night or second, whatever order you want, one was privateers, one was the top guys, there'd be 500 times more people to watch Roxon and Tomac than to watch privateers. You know, sometimes I feel like the privateers have it bad, and sometimes I feel like they have it good. You get to race in front of 50,000 people, and you get to go home, and you get sponsors. You can give less. There's a lot of things you can do if you're a pro racer. And if it wasn't for those stars bringing in 50,000 people, and the series even allowing you to race, you wouldn't even get to race. And which is funny because I just was at the IndyCar. There was 24 drivers. That's it. There was no qualifying. There was no do-it-yourself, show up, get into the big show. There was 24 drivers. That was it. And I thought to myself, man, what if Supercross was this way and they only had 20? And then I'm thinking, man, that would kill it for so many people. Like in our sport, you can be living anywhere in this country. If you're good enough, you can get your license. You could get your friends and family to help, and you can show up and race a Supercross in front of 50,000 people. Name one other sport at that level where you can do that. There are none. You can't do it in basketball. You can't do it in football. You can't do it in...
Can you be competitive, though? Yeah, you can show up. You can line up. But do you actually even have a shot? Really? Really?
It depends. Jacob Hayes got 5th last year at Oakland on a bike that I could go get right now.
Bone stock.
It wasn't stock. It was 100% obtainable by me. I could get his bike.
Could it be obtainable by anybody else? Or,
anybody.
So you weren't using like industry connections and that kind of crap. You
No.
were just going down to your local guy and having him soup it up.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. If you right now are a pro, you can buy a bike. You could go to Twisted Development, and that guy does like half the privateers' bikes. They're insanely fast.
So yeah, the bike can be competitive, but can you as a rider be competitive? Legitimately so. Like, do you stand a chance?
To do what? I mean, I was top 10 rider at Supercross as a full privateer. I was in a van. Pitting out of a van. Eating McDonald's. The day of the race.
Yeah.
And I was getting 7ths in mains. And is it because I was so badass? No, it's because it's obtained. It can happen. It's not...
Because you got heart.
Yeah, because I got all heart. What movie is that? Well, mind blank. No, but what I'm getting at is I do feel for the privateers, and I feel that they are the lifeblood of this thing. But at the same time, there's not many other sports at this level that even allow you to show up and do it. Mm-hmm. It's very, very unique that way. And I don't think that privateers should be... And for the most part, they don't. I talked to a lot of privateers. I was a privateer. The fans feel more sorry for the privateers than the privateers feel for themselves. I'll tell you that right now. When I was a privateer, I never felt sorry for myself. I never thought, like, this is BS. Now, I didn't like it sometimes that they would get first practice, and I would, but I had to earn my way into the A practice. I had to get there. I started out as a B practice guy. I wasn't good enough. And then I got into A practice because I earned it. But other than that, no, I don't know many privateers that feel that bad about their situation. They wish they had more, but the ones that dig down hard enough, they'll work their way out of it. Look at Brandon Hartraft. Brandon Hartraft rode for Cycle Trader for 2 years, riding a bike that you could get, and now he's riding for TLD. I mean, it can happen. Weston Pike, it can happen. So, in any other sport, it would never happen. They wouldn't even allow you to race or show up or play football or basketball. They wouldn't even allow you to. So, that's the other side of it that I think we should be grateful that we have a sport that allows privateers to show up at Hangtown and give it a shot in front of their friends and family and make it. It's badass.
Yeah.
It's not like that in other sports. Not at that level.
Good call. This next question kind of follows up on that. I like this dude's name too. Send it or end it. 4199. When can we make a 500cc class for Supercross?
Never. Don't even finish. Try to kill people?
He says also, is it possible to make a donation group for privateer riders? Kind of piggybacking on what you were just talking about a little bit.
I wonder if they've had them at different times pop up. The best thing to do is find one that you like.
Find the guy you like and donate.
Go watch the races and then whatever. For the fans that really, really want to help privateers and feel bad for them, do something about it. Go pick what we did. Kevin Moran's had him on the show. We raised him like $2,000.
Yeah.
Got him some hotels. I think he was skipping them some nights. He was in the van. You know what I mean?
I'd skip him.
Yeah, do something about it if you really want to, but don't expect like the whole industry to. I mean, I don't know. I'm a big free market person. It's supply and demand, and they keep showing up. I mean, what are you supposed to do? They keep showing up. They love it. You just, I don't know. It's hard to explain all the way, but I don't know. I'm just my own experiences. I never felt like I wanted more from the sport or fans or anyone. I felt like I kind of got what I deserved the whole time, and I think most riders feel the same way. They know. And they try, and they raise money from fans. They do things. They got local sponsors. They do what they got to do, and some break through.
So as a fan, if you got a heart for privateers, find some and help them out.
Pick the one you like and do something about it. Get him his pro license. Help him pay for that. Get him a hotel.
Yeah.
Send him a gas card. Do something, whatever. But I just don't think collectively we need to
make some sort of organized thing.
Yeah, I don't think we need to do that at all. I think it's unnecessary.
DC 904. First off, Joe, what up? What up, DC 904? DB, what's the scoop on East and West champs defending their titles? Does Faulkner go East or West?
We talked about it in the beginning, and fingers crossed they all end up on the West together. Faulkner, Sexton, Ferrandis. Man, I want that.
Strictly Moto. This is for all the Bat Bros, so huddle around. I like how he instructs the Bat Bros.
Tells us what to do, okay.
You think Team Fried is going to wreck shop at Motocross the Nations? I'm guessing a podium.
I'm with you. I think a podium. On paper, I think they're number 2. But it's a weird race. Weird things happen. You never know. But I'd say, honestly, if they don't get on the podium, it'll be pretty bad. They've been over there for a month, right in the sand. And from what I understand, I'm not too into the rosters of the other teams, but I listened to the show with Mathis and Wyatt and Thomas. The other teams are banged up, so they should get on the podium. If they don't, it'll be a huge disappointment, in my opinion.
He says also straight rhythm. Who's your pick? 250. He says there's his K-Rock. Did you already say who your straight rhythm pick is?
I don't know how prepped Webb will be, but I just feel like that Honda 250 will not be as good as the KTM 250 no matter what. And I think that race is a lot of bike. More bike than rider. And I think those two would be probably equal in skill, and I think Webb would have the bike. So I'm going to go Cooper Webb wins straight rhythm.
All right, Poppy. I'm going to...
Actually, no, I don't, because there's whoops there, and he's not as good in the whoops. So, I don't know. Tyler Bowers will win on his 500 Cowie.
That's your pick?
Yeah.
All right, we're going to do 3 more because we got a mosey on.
Okay.
Pickles 484, after hearing Snap-on Dan's take on Savachi and Tomac, as well as admitting he spent time at a Pitbull concert, is he now banished from the show?
Never.
Hashtag thank you.
No. He's my friend, and even though he likes Pitbull...
we don't judge.
No, even though he likes Pitbull, I'll
still... Hey, Daniel likes Jason Derulo, so... It is what
I
it
don't
is.
like him.
You love him.
I love him. Next one.
Still 8:30. He says Jamal shots are fire emoji.
Knew it.
At Daniel Blair 125.
Oh, they're fire, all right. Like right down into your stomach. Burn your insides out.
Seriously, they burn all the way down. He says also Swap Moto responded to his thank you last week.
It's awesome.
And didn't know what to say.
Don't say anything. Hold the line. All right, next one.
Cody 975 Piscatelli.
Wow. Little late, Cody.
Does Rockstar think we didn't notice that all of their athletes make the same post on the same day every few weeks?
I don't think Rockstar cares. They're hoping that no one picks up on that. But we do. Yeah, it's funny how it's like Wednesday at 1 p.m., they all drop, dude. It's the same guy drinking out of a can, which they don't do. Chad Reed said it in his interview with Mathis. He's like, I'd never drink a Monster once. I'd never let my kids ever drink that stuff while they're paying them millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Because it's cancer in a can. Sorry.
Jeez.
That's a joke. I don't know what it is. I just don't like them.
It's definitely heart disease in a can.
Really?
Holes in your brain in a can.
Really?
Yeah.
You just saying that?
No.
That's research?
That's proven. It's just science. Hey, we want to do one more? This
Sure.
is really important.
Sure.
Wayne's K-Frame, or Wayne K-Frame, or however you say it.
K-Frame Wayne.
He says, anybody seen Wayne? Oh, I think this is a different one, bro. Yeah, this is Wayne. So K-Frame Wayne, this is a different Wayne's K-Frame. Apparently, Wayne now has a competitor.
All right, let's get this guy's numbers up. What is it?
That's all he says is, anyone seen Wayne? And then he ats you, he ats me, he ats Wigan and Grant Langston.
What's the picture of his profile?
It's the same picture from K-Frame Ways. It's the picture of the on-screen writing.
How many followers? 0?
0.
All right, here's what we're doing, guys. For the motosport.com gift card, $250, I'm just going to do a random pick from everybody who follows that profile in the next 4 days. There you go, K-Frame Wayne. Been trying to get your numbers boosted. Well, now your competitor is going to have about 10 times more than you do. So what is it? How do you say it?
Let me see. I got to find it again. Sorry, we just got another one I want to read from Spochon. Literally just came in right now. Where's K-Frame at? Here we go. It's Wayne.
Wayne.
It's W-A-Y-N-E.
Yep.
S-K Frame.
S-K.
Yeah.
F-R-A-M-E?
Yes.
All one word. No
All one
underscores
word.
or anything?
No underscores or nothing.
All right. I'm going to do a random draw of everyone who follows that account.
Basically Wayne's K-Frame.
Okay. And then the real K-Frame Wayne, whoever you are, I apologize, but
hey, Will,
you've been trying to get followers. You've been too aggressive.
And he got to 30.
He got 34 or something like that. He didn't get that many.
That's funny. Spochon819 literally just sent one in right now.
All right.
He says, at producer Joe Gallo, at Daniel Blair 125. Have you guys made sure Tekashi69 didn't download the main show? Circle of Trust could be in trouble.
Dude, we'll get into that, man. But Joe,
we're gonna do an update.
I can't believe it. And by the way, I listen to that dude's music. It is so awful. I don't even. I got as far as you did, dude. I got 10 seconds in.
Yeah. It's rough.
And yeah, now he blew it. That's all I have to say. All right, good show, Joe. Nature's Bakery, Fly Racing, Skivvy Underwears, Mika Metal, Scott USA, No Toil, Honda, Cowie, KTM of Modesto, Guts Racing, EMT Racing, Key Bar, Rep Racing, and Motosport.com. And I want to give a huge shout out to PipeRepair.com. Remember those guys?
Oh, yeah.
They hooked it up. I got a smash pipe sent into them last week. Pop that baby back out, freshen it up, send it back. So huge shout out to PipeRepair.com. Love those guys. And
miss you, Pipe Repair.
They hooked it up. Well, good show. Episode 134 is done, son.
Main event motor. Screw it. You know it by now.